debate our picks for the 87th Academy Awards with our other writers from the team, which are pretty much all over the country. So that's awesome. So enjoy.
All right, so this is one of the biggest ones. We're going to be talking about the award for Best Actor in a Leading Role, for which we have 5 nominations. We have the Keats, Michael Keaton for Birdman or the Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance.
Well, I mean, reviews are pretty much a train wreck. We can't seem to get through a performance without a raging fire or a raging heart on. I'm broke. I'm not sleeping at all. And this play kind of starting to feel like a miniature deformed version of myself that just keeps following me around and hitting me in the balls with a tiny little hammer. I'm sorry, what was the question?
Is that right? Steve Carell in Foxcatcher.
And the most uncomfortable role of the year.
Well, I mean, think of Michael Scott. He's very talented at making you feel uncomfortable, whether it's a drama or a comedy.
Uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Very discomforting.
Well, I'm a wrestling coach, and I have a deep love for the sport of wrestling. And I wanted to speak with you about your future, about what you hope to achieve. What do you hope to achieve, Mark?
We also have Benedict Cumberbatch for the Imitation Game.
Who's doing swell in his campaigning. He really screwed that one up recently.
Screwed the pooch.
Asked if you wanted to come to lunch with us.
No, you didn't. You said you were going to get some lunch.
Have I offended you in some way?
Why would you think that?
Would you like to come to lunch with us?
What time's lunchtime?
Christ, Alan, it's a bleeding sandwich.
What is?
Lunch.
Oh, I don't like sandwiches.
Eddie Redmayne for The Theory of Everything.
Thank you.
So what next?
Prove it. Prove with a single equation that time had a beginning. Wouldn't that be nice, Professor?
And Bradley Cooper for American Sniper.
That you wish you hadn't?
Oh, that's not me, no.
What's not you?
I was just protecting my guys. They were trying to kill our soldiers, and I'm willing to meet my creator and answer for every shot that I took. The thing that haunts me are all the guys that I couldn't save. I'm willing and able to be there, but I'm not. I'm here. I quit.
Out of all of those,
Hold on, how many of these, can I just figure out, how many of these are based on a real person? Bradley Cooper is playing
3.
Chris Kyle.
4.
Eddie Redmayne is Stephen Hawking. Benedict Cumberbatch is Alan Turing. Steve Carell as John DuPont.
Yeah, 4.
And Michael Keaton as himself.
Yeah.
So all of them, they're all biopics. Come on.
Michael Keaton post Batman.
No, I know, but I mean, obviously he's been talking so much about how there's so much more to the movie and so much more to the role than it being quote-unquote meta. I don't know. I love Michael Keaton, and I love his speeches. I love how little of a damn he cares about talking about his speeches. Like, he got 2 Golden Globe things he had to accept, and he's like, hey, I'll take as many of these as you want to give me. I mean...
They all have merit. They all have, they can all win and I would be happy. Except for maybe one.
Except for
Bradley
Cooper. Sure.
Bradley Cooper.
Sure.
He did a great job in the film American Sniper.
He portrays Chris Kyle to a T.
Yeah, and he's perfect. But he wasn't the best performance in my opinion.
Now,
Exactly.
but then the other thing is that we've been kind of talking about how The Theory of Everything and even The Imitation Game, people find those, as a movie surrounding them, it's a generic biopic, but those individual performances about those guys, those brilliant men that changed our worlds.
Yeah.
You know, the Eddie Redmayne and Benedict Cumberbatch doing an excellent job portraying those guys.
I mean, I would say, yeah, both of those performances are great, and I would even maybe say I'd be excited to see Eddie Redmayne win, just because, and I don't know, it's such a cross between, for me, there's such a weird thing between Michael Keaton or Eddie Redmayne winning, and it's obviously, well, I can't say obviously, because Bradley Cooper could come in and sweep this.
I mean, obviously the Academy, they're old white guys, but it's like...
No, they're like 90% old white guys.
But the thing is that they will campaign hating the Iraq War forever, but they're gonna ignore everything that's been going on with civil rights in the last year and completely ignore David Oyelowo.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Academy, there's all this talk about how it shouldn't be based, that the win shouldn't be based on current events, it should be based on the merit of the film.
Yes.
But even then, the film, Selma, merited more than American Sniper. It was just well done, great performances, and just the fact that it's still relevant now is an added bonus.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like, but that's my thing is that, you know, I don't get why Bradley Cooper or Benedict Cumberbatch was better than David Oyelowo. I don't see I had a completely different lineup for actors. I had Jake Gyllenhaal, Ralph Fiennes, David Oyelowo, Oscar Isaac. I would have loved all those. But what I was saying is that, you know, between Michael Keaton and Eddie Redmayne, for some reason I do have a bit of an edge going to Eddie Redmayne just because by the end of the film I'd forgotten it was him. Like I was like, you know what? Kudos to you for the physical transformation for once. Didn't just seem like a gimmick. It seemed like that is some hardcore control.
Especially with the amount of attention that ALS has been getting in the past year, you know, with the ice bucket stuff. It's like people don't talk about it because it's devastating.
Yeah.
It destroys families, and Stephen Hawking was able to power through it all and just prove people wrong.
My name is Stephen Hawking.
It's American.
Is that a problem?
Yeah,
you
so
know?
I just think his performance was, you know, I didn't care much for the movie. There was like one other thing about the movie that I really was drawn to, but he was amazing. So I can't begrudge him if he wins. And he's also charming, and he's also been working the campaign trail like
supported it on that
nobody's
wheelchair.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have so much respect for him. I was at a Q&A, and he said that they shot most of the movie, it was obviously not in chronological order. So he had to keep going back and forth to different stages of severity of the
Very
disease.
interesting.
It's a very technical role.
Yes.
Whereas with Michael Keaton, I loved him, and I would love to see him win, especially since I think performances like in Beetlejuice, he was just as deserving, but it was Beetlejuice, so the Academy was gonna be like, we're too highbrow for that, and it's just annoying. And I
Tim Burton.
I can make a whole film about how genre films are completely ignored, but Michael Keaton winning would be amazing, and there's a likelihood of him doing it just because he's gonna have huge support in the Academy. They love giving it to actors who've paid their due, and Eddie Redmayne's still pretty young. He wouldn't be the youngest winner, I think that was still Adrian Brody, but he'd be close, and I think they want to see more from him. But and Michael Keaton, my big thing for him was nobody else could have played that role like Michael Keaton did.
Nobody.
Seriously. What can I say? I love the Keats. He's like my spirit animal.
God.
So ultimately, what do we think that the Academy's going to pick?
I think it's such a draw right now between Keaton and Redmayne.
I'm hoping Keaton, but preparing for Cooper. You know,
I know, me too.
Preparing mentally, because I'll just be devastated.
Well, think about it. In the last, they're going to be getting their final votes.
Yeah.
As it's having this huge box office success. Like they timed how this is turning out for the film and for the production company is probably like a dream for them coming true. Like it is perfect timing. I don't know. Cooper could end up stealing it, which is he would be one of the first people or one of the few people to ever win an award without being nominated for any of the ones prior. So what did you guys on the internet think? Make sure you hit us up on Twitter with the hashtag TYF Oscar and tag us at TYF Official at EvGriff 2Fs 42 and Allison with a Y, AJ, and our guest Twitter. We'll be back for more talking about the nominees tomorrow. So until then, thanks for watching, and remember to join us on Oscar night.
Tiny little hammer